नमस्कार विद्यार्थी मित्रांनो, खूप सर्व विद्यार्थ्यांच्या डिमांड नंतर आपण आपली इंडियन पॉलिटीची बॅच इंग्लिशमध्ये सुरू करत आहोत. ही इंग्लिशमधील बॅच मी जवळपास सर्वच्या सर्व लक्ष्मीकांत कव्हर करण्याचा प्रयत्न केलेला आहे. ही इंग्लिश मीडियममधल्या बॅचची तुम्हाला एक नोट्ससुद्धा मिळेल आणि यासोबतच तुम्हाला या बॅचचे सर्वच्या सर्व व्हिडिओज, आपलं जे ज्ञानदीप अकॅडमीचा लाल कलरचा लोगो असणारा ॲप आहे, या लाल कलरचा लोगो असणाऱ्या ॲपवर तुम्हाला सर्वच्या सर्व बॅच मिळेल. मग या बॅचला ॲक्सेस किती असेल, व्हिडिओज केव्हा अपलोड केले जातील, तुम्ही ते व्हिडिओज किती दिवस पाहू शकता, या सर्व बाबतीतली सर्वच्या सर्व सूचना त्या ॲपवरच त्या ठिकाणी सूचना या सदरामध्ये तुम्हाला दिलेली आहे. तर मी तुम्हाला सर्वांना सुचवेल, ज्या विद्यार्थ्यांना इंग्लिश मीडियममधनं इंडियन पॉलिटीची बॅच हवी होती, तुम्ही ही बॅच नक्की जॉईन करा. तुमच्या मित्रांसोबत सुद्धा शेअर करा. यामध्ये मी तुम्हाला प्रत्येक कन्सेप्ट सांगण्याचा प्रयत्न तर केला आहेच, मात्र या कन्सेप्टच्या सोबतच त्या टॉपिकशी निगडीत जो महत्त्वाचा कंटेंट आहे आणि त्या टॉपिकशी निगडीत जे महत्त्वाचा फॅक्च्युअल डेटा आहे, जो तुमच्या परीक्षेसाठी अत्यंत उपयुक्त असतो, हा सर्वच्या सर्व डेटा सुद्धा मी त्या ठिकाणी देण्याचा प्रयत्न केलेला आहे. सो तुम्हाला सर्वांना विनंती की बॅच शेअर करा आणि जॉईन करा. थँक्यू. हॅलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम यू ऑल टू ज्ञानदीप अकॅडमी. टुडे we are going to study one of the very interesting topic of Indian polity. The name of that topic is federal system, and it has relevance from mains perspective as well as prelims perspective. So let's go into the topic and what are the details we'll try to understand. Today's topic is federal system. Now, before moving forward, we'll try to understand certain important words which are very essential to understand what we have in India and how the things are important in India, and various words that you might have heard while listening to your seniors, like federation, union of states, confederation, unitary system, regional governments, central government. So what are these words? This is very interesting thing, and I personally feel that once you are aware about all these basic terminologies, it is very easy for you to understand book. It happens that you read book without understanding the terms and words and concept. And that's why you feel that these topics are very difficult. Actually, topics are not difficult. Your way of understanding, your way of approaching that topic is very tedious and very complex. So let's start with this. Today's topic is federal system. Now, basically, various political setups are there. Various political setup. Now, these various political setup, we have tried to classify these political setups into two types of political setup. One is unitary governments, second is federal government. You must have heard these two terms. One is unitary government, second one is federal government. Which government is called as unitary government? Which government is called as federal government? And why they are called so? For example, United States of America is a federal government, and Britain, England is a unitary government. So why Britain is unitary system? Why America is a federal system? And what system is there in India? This is a very interesting question. Now here, whether a government is unitary government or the government is federal government is based on the nature of relationship between central government and state government. That's what given over here. It is based on the nature of relationship between national government and regional government. Let's think about India. In case of India, we have used one very important word. That word is, we have three-tier government. In India, we have three-tier government. Now, what is meaning of this three-tier government? It means government system in India is located at three levels. One is at central level, second is at state level, and third is at local level. So central level is first level, state level is second level, and local level is third level. That's why it is called as three-tier government. Almost similar political setup is found in central system, state system, and local system. That's why we have almost similar political setup at central, state, and local level. So here it is called as three-tier system. Now in this three-tier system, what is the nature of relationship between this central government and state government? The nature of relationship between central government and this state government leads to formation of federal government, or it leads to formation of unitary government. So it is based on the nature of relationship between the central government and state government. We can call a particular government as a federal government, or we can call a particular government as a unitary government. So what are those nature of relationship, why they are called as so? We'll try to understand it in a very simple manner and very interesting manner. You'll really feel that this is very interesting thing. We did not know this thing. So let's try to understand this thing in a very simple language. Here, before moving forward, again I want to make this thing very, very clear. Whether a government is federal government or a unitary government, it is based on the nature of relationship between central government and regional government, or it is based on nature of relationship between central government and state government. Like government in center, Narendra Modi and his Council of Ministers, and government in state, Uddhav Thackeray and his Council of Ministers. So what is the nature of relationship between these two institutions decides whether we have federal government or we have unitary government. Clear? And here one thing very, very clear. In America, they have federal government. In England, they have unitary government. And in India, we have synthesis of both. Why we have synthesis of both is a very interesting thing. Let's go for it. Now first, we will try to understand the meaning of word federation. Right. So, what is meaning of federation? Here simply try to understand. It is a system of government where states are given equal rights at par with center. Now when I am using word rights, the word rights can be used in political language like authority, autonomy, or various words, synonymous words can be used. Here, what is federation? A federation is a system. It is a system of governments where if my left hand is state and my right hand is center, so in federation, state government and central government have equal rights. They are treated equally in terms of authority, in terms of privileges, in terms of autonomy, in terms of powers, and in terms of rights. Which are those rights? Those rights could be legislative rights, those rights could be executive rights, or those rights could be financial rights. In all these angles, these institutions are treated equally. State and center are treated equally, so it is called as federation. It means whenever word federation comes before you, you should have one very clear picture in your mind. Federation means center is equal to state. Keep it in mind. Federation means center is equal to state. So what is basically a federation? Federation is a political setup where various units come together, various states come together, or various regional governments come together and they form an agreement. It means a federation is based on agreement between various units. They form an agreement on equal terms that we will be treated equally amongst each other, as well as we will be treated equally with the central government. When there shall be equal treatment among the units, as well as when there shall be equal treatment among these states and the central government, and when this agreement is done, it leads to formation of a federation. So second thing which comes to our mind is, whenever the word federation comes, it is based on equal agreement between regional governments and central government. Clear? Center is equal to state. It is based on agreement. Now, you must know what is agreement. When you enter into any kind of agreement with your landlord or with any company, that agreement itself has another clause. As you are entering into the agreement, that agreement itself gives you a right to move away from that agreement also. So does it mean that US states have right to move away from US Federation? Yes, absolutely yes. States in United States of America have the right to move away from US Federation. But the only thing is, the process and the majority required to move away from US Federation is so difficult that it cannot be achieved. That's why, in theory, the states in United States of America can move away from US Federation. But in practice, they cannot move away from US Federation. They cannot move away from US Federation is another important concept. So here, Center is equal to state. It is based on agreement. So as they come together through an agreement, same way they can move away from that agreement is called as a federation. Clear? I hope you are getting what I am saying. Now, various examples of federation. They are America, Switzerland, Australia, Canada, Russia, Brazil and Argentina are some of the important examples of federation. Clear? Now some basic points from preliminary examination point of view. The word federation has been originated from Latin language. This is important. There is Latin word which name is fidus, right? And the meaning of fidus is agreement. It means a federation is formed based on agreement between constituent units. Federation is formed based on agreement between various units. Clear? Now, United States of America is the first and the oldest federation in the world. This is very important thing. I repeat once again, United States of America is the first and oldest federation in the world. USA is formed in 1787 during American Revolution. The time period for American Revolution was 1775 to 1783. Originally, USA had 13 states. Right now, they have total 50 states which are equally represented into the legislature. Equal representation is there, which is not found in India. When there is equal representation, it means they have federation. Clear? All states are represented equally in the Senate, which is upper house of America and which is one of the most important house in law making. So, in Senate, equally represented, USA. Now, another example of federation is Canadian Federation. Canadian Federation is formed in 1867. Originally, Canadian Federation had only 4 provinces. Right now, they have 10 provinces. Now, what is the way of formation of a federation? A federation can be formed in 2 ways. One is by integration of various states. It means various states are coming together for a particular purpose for fulfilling their own benefits and they are forming a single unit political system through integration of various agreement. It is called as a federation. So, United States of America is a federation formed through integration of the states. Second is disintegration. In case of disintegration, Canada is a federation which is formed through disintegration of a single state into or a single nation or a single political setup into various regional units is called as a disintegration. Various states coming together is integration and various states forming from a single political unit is disintegration. Here, the most important thing, United States of America is a federation formed through integration of the states. Whereas Canada is a federation formed through disintegration of various states. Clear these 2 points? Very interesting. Now, second type of political system is unitary political system. What is meaning of unitary political system? It is a political system where almost all the powers are concentrated in the hands of central government and state government or provinces or regional government. These governments are used by various names. For example, in case of India and America, it is called as central government. Whereas in case of Australia, it is called as provinces. In Canada also, it is called as provinces. So, they are used by various names. So, in case of unitary system, central government is all powerful as compared to state government. And all these state governments or regional governments or provincial governments are at the mercy of central government. It means central government is all powerful in terms of legislative powers, executive powers and financial powers. That's why it is called as a unitary system, which is given in the form of definition over here. A system of government where central government is all powerful than state government and state governments are at the mercy of central government is a unitary system. The best examples of are Britain, France, Japan, China, Italy, Belgium, Norway, Sweden and Spain. These are the best examples of unitary political setup. Federation, center is equal to state. Unitary, center is all powerful than states. Clear the basic difference? This is the most basic difference that you have to understand. Federal system, center is equal to state. Unitary system, central government is all powerful than state government. So this is the most basic level of difference between federal system and unitary system. Clear? America is federal system, Britain is unitary system. Then comes third type, which is confederation. So what do you understand by confederation? Here, the meaning of confederation is loose federation. For example, in this system, governments or various states, they come together for fulfilling their temporary interest. They do not form a very strong bond of agreement. They form an agreement which is very loose, which is very temporary, which is for a very shorter time span. And once this target is fulfilled, that agreement is broken, it is called as a confederation. It is called as a confederation. So in this system of government, various units come together for a temporary interest bound by a loose agreement. It is a loose agreement. It means they are not very strongly connected. They are not strongly connected like India or America. In confederation, the best example is Belarus, Russia and Kazakhstan. These three nations have a confederation amongst them. This is important. Belarus, Russia and Kazakhstan have a confederation amongst them. This is very, very interesting thing. Then comes Union of States. So what is India? India is a union of states. Clear? Now some of the important statements which you have to remember, you should know these things by heart. First thing, India is not a federation of states. This is very important statement you have to remember, all my dear friends. India is not a federation of states. Clear? India is a union of states. Clear? India is not a federation of states, but India is a union of states. Indian constitution is federal in nature. Now this line is important. Now this creates a kind of confusion. Just few minutes back, sir, you were saying India is not a federation of states. But now here you are saying Indian constitution is federal in nature. Why so? Here please explain what is meaning of federal. So the meaning of federal is a system where states are made an attempt to give equal power with the center. See, making an attempt and giving fully are two different things. I will make an attempt to give you 1000 rupees by tonight, right? And I gave you 1000 rupees by night. So these two are different statements. When I am giving you 1000 rupees, it is a reality. But when I am making an attempt, it means it may happen or it may not happen. These two possibilities are there. So same, what is federal system? A system where an attempt has been made to give equal power to state governments with the central government is called as a federal system. Same is the case in case of India. Our constitution and our political system has made an attempt to give equal power to states at par with the center. They have made an attempt to give equal power to center with the states. Clear? That's why our system is a federal system. Like we have given financial power to states, we have given law making power, executive power. Also states have same political setup like legislative assembly, legislative council, governor, chief minister, council of ministers is there. Then completely separate secretariat is there. It means our constitution has made an attempt to give equal power to states at par with the center. Exactly equal powers have not been given, but an attempt has been made to give equal power to the states along with the center. That's why ours is a system which is federal in nature. That's why our system is federal in nature. Now, federalism is the basic structure of Indian constitution. It means whatever powers and authorities that have been devolved by, that have been given by constitution to states cannot be taken away by states. They must be kept with the states. They must be given in the hands of the states in such a manner that they should not be removed by any central government to the disadvantages of the states or to the disadvantage of the constitution or for any misuse. So whatever devolution of power is given, an attempt has been made to maintain it in a proper manner. So it is federalism is the basic structure of Indian constitution. Federalism is the basic structure of Indian constitution, and the Constitution of India provides for a federal system of government in the country. These 5 statements, if you do not get any idea, please try to learn these statements by heart. These are very, very important statements. I'll repeat once again. See, first, India is not a federation of states. Second, India is a union of states. Indian constitution is federal in nature. Federalism is basic structure of Indian constitution, and the Constitution of India provides for federal system of government in the country. So this is very interesting thing. Clear? Now, again a question could be asked in prelims. What is the basis of Indian federal system? Here remember, Indian federal system is based on Canadian model. This is very important thing. Indian federal system is based on Canadian model. They could ask, what is the basis of Indian federal system? They could give you an example of America. They could give you example of Australia or anything. Remember, Indian system or Indian federal system or whatever division of power that have been given by Indian constitution is based on the division of power given by Canadian model. That's why this is very important line. Indian federal system is based on Canadian model. In India, we have strong center. That's what I said, that we have made an attempt to give equal power to state, but still states have not been given equal power, and ours as a center is more strong than state. Ours is a partially federal system, but in case of India, ours is a strong center as compared to state. This is very important thing. Indian Federation is union because it is indestructible. Now see, here I will use a word. US Federation is federation, whereas Indian Federation is union. Why? Or what it means? Again, I will use 2 words here. US Federation is federation because it is destructible. Indian Federation is union because it is indestructible. What does it mean? First, I will explain you the US system, why it is called so. When I am using word US Federation is destructible, it means various states, like USA has 50 states. Various states which are part of United States of America or which are part of Federation of America can move away from US Federation. It means US Federation is destructible. It means the states in United States of America have the right to move away from US Federation, or to make it very clear, the states in United States of America have the right to secede away. The word is important, to secede away, S-E-C-E, to secede away from US Federation. That's why US Federation is destructible. That's why it is called as federation. And why it is destructible? Because they have been formed through an agreement between the states. And I told you, when various states come together through an agreement, that agreement itself says that states will have the right to move away from federation. That's why US Federation is destructible, whereas in case of India, no state has the right to move away from Indian Union. No state has the right to secede away from Indian Union. No state can move away from Indian Union. That's why Indian Federation is union, because states cannot move away from Indian Union. That's why India is a union of states. Now here one important thing. Does really American states have the right to move away from US Federation? In theory, yes. In practice, no. The process to move away from US Federation is so difficult that no state can move away from US Federation. But in theory, they can move away from US Federation. That's why, again, keep this thing in very clearly in mind. US Federation is federation because it is destructible. It means states can move away from US Federation. Whereas Indian Federation is union because it is indestructible and states cannot move away from Indian federation. It is indestructible. That's why Indian Federation is union, because it is indestructible. I will star mark this point because you could get a straight away question on this point, that why Indian Federation is union, because it is indestructible. Clear? Then why framers of the constitution preferred for federal system of government in India? See, nowhere they used the word federation for India. Nowhere they called India a federation of state. Then still, why they preferred this Indian system as a federal system of the government? The most important reason was large size of the India. India is not called as a country. Normally, India is called as a Indian subcontinent. And when your size is very vast, it creates a large socio-cultural, geographical, linguistic diversity. And you have to fulfill the needs, dreams, aspirations of this large country, and for that you have to go for devolution of power based on regional needs, based on local needs. That's why, though we are a union of states, we have made an attempt to make our government system in a federal way. This is the reason why we preferred for federal system of government, but we did not go for federation of states, because we are not destructible. Keep these two things in mind. Why framers of the constitution preferred for federal system of government? Because large size of India, this is the reason, and socio-cultural diversity of the India. Clear? So this is the reason. Then comes the question, if legislative powers have been given, executive powers have been given, financial powers have been given. Also, there is separate, completely independent political setup in various states, like legislative assembly, legislative council, governor, chief minister, council of minister. Then why not? And also almost majority powers have been devolved to the states. Then why not call India a federation of states? Why not? What is the reason? So this particular thing has been explained very beautifully in our constitution. So keep this thing in mind. Why India is not a federation of states? It is based on two reasons. Why? India is not formed out of any agreement between the states. India has not been formed out of any agreement between the states. And second, no state in the Indian Union have the right to secede away from Indian Union. No state can move away from Indian Union. They do not have right to move away from Indian Union. So these two are the reasons why India is not a federation of state. We have seen why India preferred for a federal political setup, size of India and diversity of India. These are the two reasons why we preferred for federal political setup. It means we made an attempt to give equal power to states at par with the center. But why India cannot be called as federation of state? Remember, India cannot be called as a federation of states on two accounts. First, India is not formed out of any agreement between the states. India is not formed out of any agreement between the states. And second, no state in the Indian Union has the right to move away from Indian Union. That's why I told you, India is not a federation, but India is a union because it is indestructible. What is meaning of indestructible? No state can move away from Indian Union. That's why it is indestructible. Clear? This is very crystal clear. So these are some of the basic points of the federal system. Now we are going to study two important parts. One is federal features of Indian Constitution, and second, unitary features of Indian Constitution. These two parts are very, very interesting. We are going to take a separate at least 2 to 4 lectures on those topics, so that you will have, or you will get a clear-cut understanding of those topics, and it will be easier for us to understand those topics in a very simple and lucid manner. So keep watching the lectures and keep sharing with your friends, and you can watch all these lectures on our app. So thank you. Have a good day.